In this video, I'm going to show you the 4-part framework for my one-to-ones, which has helped me really help my team have more motivation, be able to have more accountability, have more autonomy over their role, and really drive performance, all while supporting their own personal growth. If you're a manager and you're wanting to improve your one-to-ones, this is a framework you need to implement. The main things I wanted to take away from my one-to-one is I want them to have more accountability over their role. I wanted them to really focus on their personal development and an opportunity to give feedback as well. And all that without micromanaging, because micromanaging is actually the worst part. And no one ever likes being micromanaged. It's one of the #1 ways for someone to feel like they're being checked upon, to feel unmotivated, is through micromanaging. And Google did a study called Project Aristotle, and in that study they found that the #1 way for building a high-performing and high-effective team is through having psychological safety. One way for someone not to feel empowered in their role is for you to micromanage them and constantly checking on them. And so for someone to take ownership and accountability and have autonomy in their role, having an effective one-to-one is one of the best ways to have that goal. And it means you don't have to worry about them as much. Building trust with your team members is so important. So before I move straight away into the framework, I always start with an introduction of how are they getting on? Is there anything personal happening in their lives that I need to be aware of? And they're a human being, so you've always got to check in with them in a human way. As soon as we've done that, we're going to move into the process. It always starts with reviewing the previous week. And we always start positively, the most important. And we always go is, what are their wins and highlights? Wins and highlights are so important. You need a space to be able to have them share what they feel is important and what the biggest challenges they've had and had to overcome. And it's a great way for them to share a great bit of work. If it be a creative person or a project they're working on and they managed to accomplish something that they've been working on for a while, it's an opportunity for them to bring it to you. Because as a manager, you may be thinking about what director expectations are, you may be thinking about what other team members are doing, and you might miss the little win. And here's an opportunity for them to have that confidence to say, hey, I did this and this is something I'm really proud of. And following from that, it's for them to bring their challenges and their learnings. And the reason why it's called challenges and learnings is because these challenges may still be there, but they also may have overcome them. And this is what's a really important part of culture, is being able to share where either a mistake's been made and they've overcome it, or they had a big challenge and how they've overcome it. Because as a manager, you will only ever be brought problems that they can't solve. And very rarely do people actually come to you and say, hey, I had this challenge, but I've overcame it. And here's an opportunity for them to do that, and for them to be able to find a way to be able to really back themselves and go, hey, I had this challenge this week, and you may not be aware of it. And what I found is that people do solve so many challenges, and it's not always obvious when they are. And something which may be a small challenge to them, you might have, something's a large challenge for them, you might have a really quick, easy solution for next time they do it. So when you're coaching someone through, a challenge that they've had, you can easily say, hey, I love the way you handled that, but here's a different way you could have gone about it. And because they're sharing their learnings, always the biggest growth and development is always from mistakes. Think about whenever you've made a big mistake. The #1 thing you did was learn from it. And usually the bigger mistake, the better the learning curve is. And that's why they are so important, because there is their real growth in their role. And obviously when you're taking notes down about what their challenges were, what you'll find is there any repeat challenges that they face? Is there a skill set deficiency somewhere where you can coach them, train them, lead them through that as well, which is super important. And I think it's really important to say is, like, you're taking notes. And the way I like to do it is I will write down all their wins, they'll share all their wins in one go. And at that point we'll stop and I'll go through each win, either saying obviously, well done, thank you, asking more questions around it, and the same with the challenges. They don't go through all their wins, all their challenges, and you don't go through each one bit by bit, because obviously you want to get through this as quick as possible. And you want to be as efficient as you can, because there may be something further along in the one-to-one you want to really go through. So it's super important for you to really go, okay, thank you for all your wins. These are my favorite ones. Thanks for your challenges. These are the ones that I think I can help you with, or well done on overcoming those challenges, for example. So the second part of the framework that I like to use is projects and priorities updates. And because, if you're giving someone a lot of autonomy and you're not checking their work all the time, you want to know, are we still aligned on what we need to be doing? And if someone has, say, 20 tasks that they need to be doing in a week, you need to know is, okay, I wanna make sure they're doing the most important ones first. You might be like, hey, can I have your top 5 priorities for this week come in? Or over this next period of time between your one-to-ones, if you're having bi-weekly or monthly one-to-ones, you can easily just say, hey, it'd be great to understand what you're working on right now and what's the most important thing. Any roadblocks, any issues that you might have, let's overcome them as well. And this is something that I never thought about adding in. I thought it was just gonna be more about wins and challenges, but actually for you to be giving a better sense of purpose for people to be able to know where they're going and knowing why certain things are important, because people get lost along the way. And when we're trying to get somewhere big, somewhere in 5 years time, 10 years time, 12 months time, 6 months, 1 month, wherever it might be, it's always great to align them. And to be a great leader is giving them that purpose. And by having them share their priorities, you then know that they're still aligned to that goal. And at this point, it's really good for people to really share their projects and really be proud of it as well. You know, it's their time to share their projects. The next one is a super important one, and that is one-to-one feedback. And this goes both ways. And this is for you to give them feedback. And the way I always follow is, where was I? What did I see, or the behavior that was there? And here's what the impact of that was. And obviously the more specific you can be with feedback, the better for team members, because you know, if you're generally your attitude's rubbish or stinks, or your attitude in morning meetings isn't great, then I think you need to be more specific with it. Hey, I saw in this morning meeting you were really, really quiet. And when you're quiet and you don't really contribute much, then the impact on the team is, are you all in? Are you want to be part of something here? Because when you're not, then it's really worrying for me. I want to make sure you're a person who wants to be here. What support do you need at that point? Can you share what it was like from your perspective? And that nice specific framework is super easy for them to understand, and for them to understand something they were doing in their behavior has had a massive impact. And then at the same time is for you to get feedback on you as well. Obviously for great leaders, we're never finished, we're never the complete article, and we're constantly wanting to move forwards and get better. Hopefully that's why you're watching this video. And I think what's really important with getting feedback from them is to give them some specifics. Because when you just say, hey, can I have some feedback about me? They even may have built up and they get you it all in one go. Or they go, I've got nothing for you. I can't think of any feedback right now. And so what I found is asking some key questions, which might be, hey, do you feel like you're being supported by me right now? Is there anything you change about our processes or project management right now, or the projects we're working on? Is there anything about our team? How are you finding the teams collaborating right now? You know, and it gives you opportunities to break down your own leadership and find opportunities for people to say, hey, I found that this process is really annoying me. Hey, I found that this project, I don't really get what's going on. You know, and that's feedback to you as a leader and as a manager to be able to say, hey, I'm not giving these people enough autonomy, or hey, I'm not giving my team members enough purpose for what's actually happening. And it's a super important thing to really focus on. And for them, you want obviously to give them feedback and to be open to get that feedback and grow. It's mirrored both ways. You know, a leader always leads by examples, and if you can't get feedback back on your management, then what are you doing? You need to be able to grow. Feedback is a gift, and you can accept to take it on or not, but you have to show that you're open to it. Otherwise, your team member will not be open to that feedback either. And so for them to take your feedback on board, you have to be open to take their feedback on board as well. It's a two-way street, human to human, every time. Reason why I really like this part, and is because it's a great way to finish the one-to-one on a positive note. It's a great way to talk about the future and where you're going. And it's not about creating a full PDP in the meeting. What it's about is being able to give them support and accountability over their growth and development. Hey, have you had a development slot this week? No? Oh, how come? What happened? What are you going to do next week? Because if you wait for someone to develop themselves, you know, they may never get there. They're always busy. We've always got more important tasks to do. And for you to be able to allocate time to say, hey, here's a place where I think you can grow right now. Here's a skill that I think you should work on. Let's do some coaching around this in the next one-to-one. Give your team members time to prepare for it. I always find that if you just surprise them with a coaching session, then they're more defensive and more like not open to it because they didn't expect it to happen. And the more you can give them time to go, okay, I'm gonna be ready for this coaching session and I'm gonna have my notes ready, is so much better. So you want to be talking about, hey, what things have you done in the last X period of time, if it a week, 2 weeks, whatever it might be, what have you done to work on your development? Hey, how's that goal you're working on? Hey, I remember you wanted to work on your organization. Where are you at with that right now? And for you to be able to continuously grow and help that person, you need that accountability. Because for anyone to grow or learn anything new, it's all there on the internet. They can do it themselves, but it's the accountability where the value is. And I always use an example like a PT. You know, you can go to the gym and you can work out, but you work out harder when you know you've got the PT there. You do it so you know the PT is going to check up on you. And that accountability is the true value in that part of the framework. So don't miss it, don't skip it, spend as much time on that as you do on the others, but it's a great way for them to come out of the meeting going, yeah, I know I'm still moving forwards, and still having that momentum, because that's what's super important. And that's the 4-part framework. It's reviewing the previous week, it's talking about their priorities and their projects they're working on, it's being able to have feedback 360 both ways, and always finishing on development and goals. What you'll find is that if you can tell them and say, hey, this is for you, you need to come prepared. And the most important part of this is for them to come prepared. And it'll take a while, you won't expect them to do it straight away. And it's super easy to spot when someone's not taking it as seriously because they're not coming prepared. And it takes a while to build that culture and build that behavior to come to a one-to-one with the prep work done. And you know, it's like any good cake that you might bake. The recipe is everything. And as soon as you've got a great recipe and great ingredients, the cake's going to be amazing. The methodology works perfectly. So be prepared for them. And for you as a manager as well, you need to be prepared for the feedback you're going to give them. You know, the less prepared you are, the less prepared they're going to be. And it's a two-way street for your team members. So make sure you work on that. The last thing I will say is cadence, and this is something I've been really working on recently. And I'm currently trialing bi-weekly. I've been doing weekly one-to-ones for quite a while, but as the team has grown, I'm not able to allocate the same amount of time every week. And as long as the cadence is right and consistent, and in my diary, this is one of the most non-negotiable things in my diary. I will make sure my one-to-ones happen with my team members. If I have to move it, if I have to do it on a Zoom, if I have to, I'm at an event and I still need to do it, I'm gonna make sure that I've still got that one-to-one with that team member, because what it shows me is I'm gonna prioritize you, and then they're gonna prioritize the team. And a team which is got a leader who's prepared to support them and back them in just giving them their time, then you'll find that other behaviors come naturally from that by moving forward, by, you know, having a team which is that great knitted culture of helping each other, collaborating with each other, communicating better, and it creates better people. And that's the most important thing, is the more you work on creating better people, the team will get so much better. They'll have so much more effectiveness, so much more performance, and just a great place to be. And you know, no manager wants to come to a team which don't really like their team, or come into a team where they just feel like you've got no momentum. Momentum is so much in growth. It's just so important. I've got no words for it. And that's your 4-part framework. If you could drop a comment and let me know of something I've missed in my one-to-one framework, I'd love to improve it even better. I'm always learning about one-to-ones. I always want to know how I can improve them. Subscribe if you want some more videos like this. I'm willing to put some more tutorials and even more videos talking about my leadership journey. And what I'll do